Welcome to the UGC EPG Pathshala lecture series in computer science. In this series of lectures, we have been looking at the subject database management system. This session we are going to look at the continuation of XML databases. The learning objectives will be the similar in comparison with the previous session. So, it is the continuation. So, we have the same learning objectives for this session. Previous session I stopped discussing about the XML schema, where I have started mentioning you on document type definition. Today we will start with IDs and ID references. So, an element can have at most one attribute of type ID. So, this becomes a unique identifier. The identifier attribute value of each element in an XML document must be distinct. So, this is in convention with the primary key that is used in the relational database. So, thus the ID attribute value is an object identifier. So, it is represented as OID at different instances, primary key at relational database. Here in XML I will be mentioning it as ID. An attribute of type ID ref, that is identifier reference, must contain the ID value of an element in the same document. An attribute of type ID refs contains a set of 0 or more, where if you look at the previous data type definition, where I have indicated a syntax wherein I can give a star which can represent 0 or more instances. Likewise, here in the identifier references that contains 0 or more ID values, that can also become an attribute. So, each ID value must contain the ID value of an element in the same document. After having looked at, let us try writing an example of an XML tag. University, which has got department and the names, the attribute associated will be department name as computer science engineering, the faculty and students, closed with a department tag, then course code, course code, department name, course in charge, title and credits. Likewise, course in charge, staff ID and department name, salary, course in charge getting closed, and finally the university. Continuing on the discussion that we had on the XML schema. XML schema is a more sophisticated schema language which addresses the drawbacks of document type definition. So, and it supports the type of values like integer, string, etc. Also constraints on minimum and maximum values. These XMLs are purely user defined complex types. Many more features including uniqueness and foreign key constraints. It can also take up inheritance. XML schema is itself specified in XML syntax, unlike document type definitions. So, more standard representation, but then it is on verb. XML schema is integrated with namespaces. If you remember, I have shown you an instances where I have represented namespaces for the XML schema, but XML schema is significantly more complicated than document type definitions. Some of the rationales for XML in databases: there are a number of reasons to directly specify data in XML or other documents formats, such as JSON, which is JavaScript file format. For XML in particular, they include an enterprise may have a lot of XML in an existing standard format. Data may need to be exposed or ingested as XML. So, using another format such as relational forces makes it double data modeling of the data. So, double modeling of the data. XML is very well suited to sparse data, deeply nested data and mixed content such as text with embedded markup tags. XML is human readable, whereas relational tables require expertise to access. Since the conventions or the tag names that we have tried using is all conventional words that we use, then which makes it XML human readable, whereas making a relational table requires some level of expertise. If I start mentioning it as course underscore ID, many may not understand. So, metadata is often available in XML. So, that is a standard template of data about a data which is also associated with the extensible markup language. Not only that, semantic web data is available in RDF and XML format. Steve O'Connell gives one reason for the use of XML in databases. He makes up XML as the standard way of representation of a data, and he has said the increasingly common use of XML for data support or data transport, which is meant that data is extracted from databases and put into XML documents and vice versa. So, any data is extracted from database and it can be directly transformed into XML documents, and it can happen in the reverse also. So, in content based applications, the ability of native XML databases also minimizes the need for extraction or entry of metadata to support searching and navigation. Querying and transforming XML data. Translation of information from one XML schema to another XML schema is what is transforming XML data. So, querying on XML data, we have two closely related and handled by same tools. Standard XML querying translation languages are XPath, which is simple language consisting of path expressions; XSLT, which is simple language designed for translation from XML to XML and XML to HTML; and XQuery, which is an XML query language with a rich set of features. I repeat, XPath is supposed to be expressed in terms of path expressions consisting of very simple language of XML. XSLT, which is designed purely for translation from XML to XML and XML to HTML, and XQuery is a query language which is associated with XML and including rich set of features. Tree modeling of XML data. Query and transformation languages are based on tree model of XML data. So, any XML data, tree model XML data associates query and transformational languages. So, an XML document is modeled as a tree with nodes corresponding to elements and attributes. So, elements and attributes becomes the nodes of the tree. Element nodes have child nodes which can be attributes or sub elements. Text in an element is modeled as a text node, child of the element. Children of a node are ordered according to their order in the XML document. Element and attribute nodes have single parent, which is an element node. The root node has a single child, which is the root element of the document. If I try understanding in depth of XPath, XPath is used to address parts of document using path expressions. That means, we can select parts of documents using path expressions. A path expression is a sequence of steps separated by a forward slash. Think of file names in a directory hierarchy. Any directory hierarchy, it starts with a forward slash. Result of path expression will be a set of values that, along with their containing elements, attributes, match the specified path. For example, university is supposed to be one of the start, and it has got course in charge, name as its next sub elements. So, evaluated on the university data, we saw earlier returns where name has been mentioned within it. So, university, course in charge and the name of the course in charges have been listed. In the second example, we have university, course in charge, name and text, where the text values alone will be indicated. Having not mentioned the text associated with the name, this has mentioned it as name, the name of the person with another close tag, and a name of the second person with close tag, whereas seeking the help of text alone, if it is to be retrieved, then this returns the same names, but without enclosing tags. So, the result of the second one is more appreciable when compared to the first one. Looking at XQuery. XQuery is a general purpose query language for XML data. XQuery is derived from Quilt query language, which itself borrows from SQL, XQL, which is XML query language, and XML query language, extensible query language and XML query language. XQuery uses a for, let, where, order by, result as their syntax. If we try comparing this XQuery with the SQL query, for is in place of from, where is in place of is the same as that of SQL's where, order by is similar to that of SQL's order by, and result is in place of select that has been used in SQL. Whereas, if you look at let, allows temporary variables and has no equivalent in SQL. So, let is a newly defined syntax that includes or that allows temporary variables. So, these are the standard syntaxes that has been used as part of XQuery: for, let for temporary variables, for in comparison with SQL it is to replace from, where is the same, order by is the same, and result is to replace with select. XSLT, which is an XML style sheet, stores formatting options for a document, usually separately from document. For example, a HTML style sheet may specify font colors and size for headings, etc. The XML style sheet language, which is XSL, was originally designed for generating HTML from XML. I have mentioned one of the key feature is to convert XML to HTML and vice versa. XSLT is a general purpose transformation language which can translate XML to XML and XML to HTML. XSLT transformations are expressed using rules called templates. Every transformation will be, or the expression, regular expression that has been used as part of XML will be transferred as templates. So, templates combine selection using XPath with construction of results. Not only that, we use APIs as part of XML. There are two standard application program interfaces to XML data. One is the SAX, which is SAX Simple API for XML, which is abbreviated as SAX, based on the parser model. SAX parser is a parser model where the user provides event handlers for parsing events. For example, start of an element and end of an element, we use it as a parser within this application program interface. The another standard application would be a DOM parser, which is document object model parser. This, as an XML data, is passed into a tree representation. Variety of functions provided for traversing the document object model tree. For example, Java DOM API provides node class with the methods get parent node, get first child node, get next sibling, get elements by tag name. All these are supposed to be the DOM, document object model, that are quite often used in Java language. Also provides functions for updating DOM tree. How do we store data in XML? XML data can be stored in non-relational data stores, that is in terms of flat files, also natural for storing extensible markup language. XML database built specifically for strong XML data supporting document object model and declarative querying. Currently, there is no commercial grade systems that is available as part of XML databases. If you look at relational databases, data must be translated into a relational form. Some of the advantages are mature database systems. XML database systems are mature database systems, and one of the disadvantages, overhead of translating data and queries. Storage of XML in relational databases, we have alternative representations like string representation. We have the entire character which are stored as a string. Not only that, we have tree representation and we have map which can create multiple relations. Talking about string representation, this stores each top level element as a string field of a tuple in the relational database. Using a single relation to store all elements, or use a separate relation for each top level element, that is account, customer, depositor relations, each with string valued attribute to store the element. And we also use indexing for the string representation, where it stores the values of sub elements, attributes to be indexed as extra fields of the relation and built integers on these fields. We have customer name or account number. Some database systems support function indices which use the result of a function as the key value. The function should return the value of the required sub element and or the attribute. Some of the benefits of using the string representation are: can store any XML data even without a document type definition. As long as there are many top level elements in a document, strings are small compared to full document. This allows fast access to individual elements. Some of the drawbacks associated with the string representation are: this needs to parse strings to access values inside the elements, and parsing is very slow. We look at the second type of representation, which is tree representation. In tree representation, the model of XML data will be in representation of a tree and will be stored using relations. So, we will have a node which has ID, parent ID, type, label and value. You have university ID 1, course as ID 2, within that we create course code as ID 3 and department as ID 5, because we have created two instances here, and department as ID 4, ID 5 and department name as ID 7, because two different department names have been created. So, each element or an attribute is given a unique identification number. This indicates an element or an attribute. Label specifies the tag name of the element or the name of the attribute. Value is the text value of the element or the attribute, and this can add an extra attribute position to record ordering of children. Because of this tree representation, we have benefits and drawbacks. This can store any XML data even without DTD, which is similar to the string representation. That becomes the benefit of tree representation. But whereas when we look at the drawbacks, data is broken into pieces, that is too many pieces have been broken down. So, this increases the space overhead. Even simple queries require large number of join operations to be performed, so which makes it very slow. The third type of representation, mapping all the XML data into relations. Relation created for each element type whose scheme is known, an ID attribute to store a unique ID for each element, a relation attribute corresponding to each element attribute, the parent ID attribute to keep track of parent element. So, as this is similar in terms of tree representation, and position information, that is the ith child, can be stored too. So, most of it is very common when compared to the tree representation also. All sub elements that occur only once can be relation attributes. So, for text valued sub elements, store the text as attribute value, whereas for complex sub elements, store the ID as the sub element. Sub element can occur multiple times represented in separate table. So, this will be similar to handling multi-valued attributes when converting ER diagrams into tables. So, these sub elements which stores multiple times in a separate table is similar to that of relational databases multi-valued attributes, where when we convert ER diagrams into table representation. Applying above ideas to department elements in University 1 schema with nested course elements, we get department which has attributes like ID, department name, faculty and students, and course with parent ID, course code, department name, title and credits. With XML publishing, we have process of converting relational data to an XML format, whereas shredding, which is the process of converting an XML document into a set of tuples to be inserted into one or more relations. XML enabled database systems support automated publishing. This is one of the very advantageous factors with XML, where we have automated publishing and automated shredding also. So, many systems offer native storage of XML data using the XML data type. Special internal data structures and indices are used for efficiency purposes. Looking at XML enabled databases, XML enabled databases typically offer one or more of the following approaches to store XML within the traditional relational structure. That is, XML stored in CLOB, which is character large object. XML is shredded into a series of tables based on the schema. XML is stored in the native XML type as defined by the Indian Standards Organization, International Standards Organization 9075-14, but the same with RDBMS that support International Standards Organization's XML type are IBM's DB2 version, which is a pure XML, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle database and PostgreSQL Server, which supports this XML enabled databases. Further, with respect to the representation and XML representations and XML enabled databases, we also have a native XML databases. These databases are typically better when much of the data is in XML or other non-relational formats. Some of the native XML databases are BaseX, Berkeley's database XML edition, Exist, MarkLogic Server, Quizix, Sedna. All of the above databases use XML as an interface to specify documents as tree structured data. The representation will be tree structured that may contain unstructured text, but on disk the data is stored as optimized binary files. So, when it comes to storage within the disk, all these data will be stored as optimized binary files. So, this makes query and retrieval faster. So, one of the basic drawback that we have highlighted during the representations in string representation, tree representation and mapping relation representation was to make the entire retrieval slow, whereas with native XML databases, since all the files, all the data which is stored in the disk are made into optimized binary files, here the querying and retrieval is made faster. In case of MarkLogic Server, it allows XML and JavaScript object network to coexist in one binary format. So, both of these can exist together in one single binary format. With respect to native XML databases, some of the key features of native database XML databases include: this has an XML document as at least one fundamental unit of logical storage, just as a relational database has a row in a table as a fundamental unit of logical storage. This need not have any particular underlying physical storage model. For example, NXDs can use optimized proprietary storage formats. This is the key aspect of XML databases. Managing XML as large strings is inefficient due to extra markup in the XML. So, compressing and indexing XML allows the illusion of directly accessing, querying and transforming XML while gaining the performance advantage of working with optimized binary tree structures. So, compressing and indexing of XML, although when we query it, it has not been compressed and indexed. It looks like so, but then this compression and indexing has happened internally, since because all the files have been optimized in the binary file format, we access it, although it have a direct access, query and transformation to the XML. As a summary to the previous session and this session, we have started to introduce on another version of databases, which is extensible markup language database. I have highlighted on the syntax associated with XML markup language, extensible markup language. Further, I have tried explaining on the querying and transforming XML data and different representations associated in XML in comparison with the relational database data, like string representation, tree representation and mapping relations. And we have also talked about storing XML data both in native XML databases and also in other formats of XML databases in comparison with the relational databases. And there has been some highlight on the XML database applications also. Thank you.